Alright, hi everybody. It's Bonkai 922. Get Live. Season 2. Episode 2. Now, pretty much this episode, we had, because last week we had the episode 1 premiere, and there were certain things, aside from the real ending, what was the ending, there wasn't really much to that episode. This episode, we got a lot more. And I have to say, sort of interesting. We now know from this episode, someone is watching Tohka. Someone is after her. And we get introduced to these two spirits. Now, one of them, I believe, is named Kaguya. The other one is named, I'm trying to think, Yuzuru. So sort of like Yuzu from like Bleach. So you have Yuzuru and you have Kaguya. Now, in this episode, and they basically are they're both one spirit. And basically, from the explanation we get, they were split. And they're known as what surprisingly is called, they're known as the Hurricane Children? They're Hurricane, essentially. Yeah. Which makes sense, because in the episode, when they first get to their trip, there's a hurricane. I mean, it doesn't take a figure to figure that out. But yeah. And basically, like the beginning part of the episode, we have them at school. It's like, the comedy of this show, I have to say, the comedy of this show is pretty fucking funny. I have to say, it is pretty fucking funny. Basically, they say they're arguing, Tohka and Ogorogami, making, she knows, he's a girl, and I'm a guy, and it went on back and forth, because she wanted to stay on the men's side. Tohka, so she could be with Shio. I thought that was fine. But basically, what ends on happening is they get on the plane to go on this trip, essentially. And they go on a trip. They're not going to Okinawa. They're going somewhere else. This island that's shaped like a sea. And when they get on the plane and they're conversing, origami, and Tohka and Shiro, they're like going back and forth between the three of them. And we got that witch. She is there on the plane. And there's this company called DEM, which was announced in this episode. And she's supposedly a photographer. So yeah. But throughout the episode, we see that there's like they're watching them. They're watching them. Like they got a plan to kidnap Tohka. I was like, whoa. And it was funny, like she was trying to spy on them, and like all the girls say, oh, that's a camera. That was funny. So obviously, earlier on in this year, in this second season of Data Live, I'm seeing a difference between this and season 1. Because this hadn't happened. This really didn't happen in season 1. Season 1, no one was really after Tohka. But now we have this. And throughout the episode, we see this guy. It's not the guy from last week. What's his face? What's that guy's name? Looking for his name. Westcott. This is not Westcott. This is somebody else. He's saying, oh, is that really a spirit and everything? And they get to the island, and they're wondering if that's a spirit. And she's being watched. They got a plan to kidnap her. This is like really crazy. And what happens is, she knows she's being watched, Tohka, and she runs away from it because she knows it. She knows it. It's just like instantaneous. And what ends up happening is they get trapped, Tohka and Shido, because he goes after her by a hurricane. And that's when we get the reveal of the Hurricane Children. Well, might as well call them the Hurricane Sisters, because they're one person, they're one spirit. And they're two girls. Yuzuru is very, while Kaguya is, and they basically are fighting. And this was weird because when I first saw it, I thought they were lightning, because there was like these lightning sparks as they're fighting. But no, they're a hurricane, because there's a hurricane going on while they're fighting, so that makes sense. And essentially what happens is, they're continually fighting each other, because the whole bit is that they are two of them. Originally, they are one spirit, so they are fighting each other to determine who will be the survivor, who will be the dominating personality of, And I believe the actual spirit's name is Yama. Yamai. Yama. So, and they're basically determining that. And basically what they do is they decide to use Shido as a way to determine who will be the last contest that they're going to have. And this goes on throughout the entire episode. So, like, there's this part where, and between the two, I kind of like Yuzuru a little bit better than Kaguya. Kaguya's got that kind of, sporty, tomboyish kind of personality, while Yuzuru's got the kind of, kind of emotionless, but not really personality. And if he tricks Shido to go into the bath, that he thinks he's on the men's side, but he's really on the women's side. It was so funny. And he ends up falling over. Now that basically, that was more or less the episode. So this, and then there was the extra bits though. But overall, 4 out of 5 for this one. Now, eventually, this is going to come to a head, because I don't think he's going to end up, this thing with these two parts of one whole, the Hurricane Children, or Hurricane Sisters. I'm calling them the Hurricane Sisters. It's a little bit more better from, I find it that they call them sisters. I don't think he's going to date them, because, they're not like an emotional wreck like Yoshino and Tohka. They're not like that. They fight, yeah. But aside from that, nothing really happens with them. But towards the end of the episode, he basically gets out of the water because he fell in the ocean when he was trying to leave the bath. He bumps into Reina, and he makes a crack about him, and then we see the witch again, and she says, "Oh, the plan is going to go forward," and basically this means someone is going to try to kidnap Tohka. This is by the way, this plan is from Westcott. He is involved greatly in this situation. So we probably are going to see a lot of him down the road. Yeah. But yeah, 4 out of 5 for this one. Next week we're gonna get like a beach episode with the 2 Hurricane Sisters. Hey, that's what I'm calling them. That's what I'm calling them. Hurricane Sisters. Hey, it's pretty obvious, But I did a live, I believe it's a light novel game, and I wonder at some point for that, and do they, the sisters, one of them succeeds and the other one disappears. I wonder about that. Because right now they're just these two, and I wonder if eventually one of them will become the dominant spirit, and that will be the main spirit, instead of being split in two. But yeah, overall, good episode. 4 out of 5, like I said. But this episode, I think, more importantly, showed to us that is from last week, from the ending of last week's episode, it is almost right now a certainty. Tohka is being watched. Tohka is like someone's after her, and it's Westcott and this witch. It is clearly there. They are after her. And from kind of the closing really spoiled. I think of what will go down later on in the series. But still, I would also like to add, this episode could have been better if we had some Kurumi. More Kurumi in Date A Live equals more thumbs up. At least that's what I think. Hey, what do I know? Anyway, that's the story, people. Good episode, like I said. Bankai Night 22. That's a question. Who do you like more? You guys, subs, and everyone else. Yuzuru or Kaguya? Among the Hurricane Sisters? Like, who's better? I like to know. But like I said, good episode. Tohka's being watched. Damn. This is crazy. This is pretty crazy. Good start so far. I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.